that I can actually call you a wifey and say, how is your husband doing, is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think that actually is what excites me the most is getting to call Artem my husband.
I know. Even mom yesterday when she was like, I heard from both of your husbands for my birthday.
I know.
I was like, weird.
It's
Weird.
that's been.
I'm tired of being humble. I'm tired of letting people think they got a chance. The tribal chief is head and shoulders above everybody.
Hey, this is the Turnbuckle King here. We are at Toxic Rain Scandal, aka KDH. We got breaking news, restraining order drama, Nikki Bella versus Artem. Man, this is crazy. This is when marriage turns into restraining order. You guys get the likes of as we enter the locker room, get your seat. And as usual, guys, it's time to air the dirty laundry. As we see this saga continue on with Nikki and Artem, it says here that Nikki got a restraining order against Artem, and it claims that he put hands on her real bad during the argument. But let's see what this report is saying regarding this. It says that, she got the restraining order. It says here that she filed it Monday and a judge signed off on it after Nikki submitted a sworn declaration to the court saying in detail Artem allegedly, her. And it also says in a petition, Nikki says Artem tackled me multiple times and pinned me to the ground while our child was present. It also says here that she says since Artem was cut from Dance with the Stars, he was increasingly angry, snapping at me and yelling. She said they had discussions about his need to control his anger, adding to the morning of the incident. Then he said Artem went off on Nikki on a 4-year-old son's English muffin should be toasted, screaming that she made their son a picky eater. And this is not looking good. It says she was so overwhelmed by Artem yelling at her, she threw Mateo's taller sized 7 shoes towards Artem. She said the shoe hit his leg, but they were so light that they couldn't have hurt him. And it's more. She says Artem grabbed Mateo and ran him upstairs, and the boy screamed, "Mommy, mommy." She says as she tried to get into the room, Artem opened the door and tackled her to the ground outside Mateo's room. She said he grabbed her arms and held her on the ground for what felt like 30 seconds. Also says she says Artem then went back to Mateo's room and closed the door. And she says she again tried to push open the door, and he then opened it and pushed her across the hall into the couple's bedroom, forcing her to the floor to the bathroom. She says he had her hands on her chest near her sternum, pressing down. It says the police came. Mateo told him, "Daddy hurt my hand." See, that right there is definitely why he got the restraining order, because not only did you harm Nikki, you also harmed the child. Nikki's harmed, and then their son is harmed. But let's continue on with this story. Let's continue. She also alleges that Arthur was physically violent on one prior occasion. She says in mid-2023, he grabbed her around the waist to keep her away from Mateo. She also claims that there were numerous instances of verbal, She says she doesn't want her son to grow up in a tumultuous environment as she did. Nikki wants Artem to get the help he needs with therapy and anger management, and for her, Mateo, to have enough space away from him until he has bettered himself. Then it says the judge prohibited Artem from contacting or come within 100 yards of her, their son, their home, etc. The only exception is for visitation or exchange of the child court-ordered visits. Nikki had to ask the judge if she could leave the country with his son, but the judge denied the request until a full hearing was held October 21st. She wants to go to London to film a project. And then, of course, we know that Artem has not been living in the home since August 29th. It says that but the judge said he will not grant a move-out order until the hearing. Nikki filed for divorce for the altercation, and that's what led to this. Now, with that being said, Artem, it seemed like, according to the report, you have serious anger issues. I get that You got cut from Dance with the Stars, that you don't have the work that you used to, that you cannot be, you cannot display your anger that way. And this just make things much worse for him. And we know that Artem is going through a lot, but you're doing exactly what Nikki Bella wants you to do, because it's clearly that when you're doing stuff like this, like Artem, you can't control your emotions as a man. You can't keep everything in check. It leads to a DV. It leads to restraining orders and whatnot, and it just ruins your name. Because now it's to the point now you can't even see your own son without visitation rights, without supervision. That's what it's come down to. And Artem, you gotta cool yourself. I mean, this restraining order is on paper. So, but also, I'm just a little confused because I remember they said that Artem had the charges dropped. And if you guys remember here also in this art, it said that there were lack of evidence on this whole situation. It said that as well. So it's just wild how this thing came all about with Nikki and Artem. You know, these two were, as they say, so much in love, but it's not even about that. It's not good at all. He had the charge. They said the charge would drop due to lack of evidence. That's why the charge would drop. But as we can see between these two, Artem, he definitely got it worse because the charges were dropped. However, Nikki went and filed a restraining order. So this definitely is going to stick it much harder to Artem, because Nikki Bella, I'm telling you right now, she is out here playing chess, and Artem, you out here playing checkers. So it's clearly doing that. But like I said before, and I say it again, the only person that's really hurt more in this whole situation, even more hurt than Artem, is the son Mateo. He's hurt more than anybody else. Now his dad has to get visitation rights to see him. Now he's looked at as, his dad looked at as the evil person. He can't control his emotions. And it's crazy because Nikki and Artem were married. They had the wedding a couple years ago. They go from this to clearly this. It's just pretty much, it's just nothing but animosity between these two right now. They're not on good terms. Hopefully these two get it together, but it's crazy that Nikki, you are not off the hook here. And I know Artem can't control his anger, but at the same time, Nikki, you know that you're wrong for still throwing those taller shoes at Artem. I understand you were upset. I don't care if they were taller shoes or little tiny shoes, but you can't be throwing yourself. I know she had to defend herself, but I guess, according to the paperwork, she was defending herself. But I still think Nikki has an anger problem as well. It's still so wrong with Nikki because she never did the work on herself as a woman, just like Artem never did the work on himself as a man. So they're definitely not on the hook, not by a long shot, but Artem, of course, looks worse than Nikki do. But if you guys remember, they had that big 911 dispatch call. If you guys remember that was crazy. But if you want to allow me, guys, let's go back and let's go over that again.
503, 415 verbal. 9 Edward 32, 503. Initially, this came in as the RP requesting medical, but now the RP stating he got into an argument with his wife, and his wife threw shoes at the RP. There is a child on scene.
9 Edward 32, copy. Any injuries?
Affirms medical's en route. They're staging.
9 Edward 32, do you know a description of the injury?
Negative, not at this time. It's hard to get info. There's an active 415 in the background. Your responsible is going to be a Nicole Garcia, born in 83. We're trying to get the two parties to separate. Attention all units, go through medical en route 14, Rick Shopway, Napa 0838. 9 Edward 32, 5 David 3 Napa. The RP is stating no medical is needed now. Just for further, there is a 4-year-old child on scene. The responsible RP's wife currently has a child. 9 Edward 32, 5 David 3.
So yeah, that was the 911 dispatch call. Like I said, because he did have, remember, prosecutors declined to file charges citing lack of evidence. Because he had the charges dropped doesn't mean that Artem had to watch himself. And I think during one of the meetups, remember they was trying to co-parent. It's the first time these two were seen together. Arthur still couldn't control himself regardless. So it's just crazy how this thing came about. I know Nikki Bella, I know she also I know she really loves her son. She don't want them to be away from her. But the same token, now that Artem has this, this restraining order against him, now he needs supervision and, of course, visitation rights to see his son is definitely on the grounds of parent alienation. This is how this is created. And also, too, Nikki loves her son. Not to say that's a bad thing, but it's to the point where she don't want anybody around her son, not even the dad. And this is why they were married.
I'm gonna miss you so much, okay?
Saying goodbye to Mateo, it's the worst thing.
Yeah, so Nikki really loves Mateo. She loves her son. And like I said before, Mateo is just in a bad situation. Like I said, their whole marriage was a sham from the get-go. I said that before. These two were never really in sync with each other. It was just all for show. And it was Nikki Bella clearly getting over John Cena, but it crazy. And change of events, they go from one thing to the next. If you guys remember, they did this on Nikki and Bree's podcast.
The fact that I can actually call you a wifey and say, how is your husband doing, is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think that actually is what excites me the most is getting to call Artem my husband.
I know. Even Mom yesterday when she was like, I heard from both of your husbands for my birthday.
I know.
I was like, weird.
It's
weird.
That's been the biggest change and like shocking thing is like everyone now texts me like, oh, is your husband there? Like using the word husband. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, he's my husband. Well, and when you say popping champagne, I'm still in the dry zone because I think I drink so much champagne in Paris. When you get to Paris first and then you get married towards the end, like it was just a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
And a lot of champagne.
Yep, so it's just sad one thing goes from another, like I said before. And this is the end of this. That's all I have regarding Nikki Bella gets restraining order against Artem. Claims that, she was had physical, Artem got physical with her during the argument. This is a clear case of when marriage turns into restraining order. You guys let me know in the comment section below what you think of this whole situation. Artem now has restraining order. He is very limited when he can see his son. They have court date coming up. He has to come within 100 yards of Nikki, their son Mateo, in their home. Man, as they say, this is nasty work out there. Protect yourself at all times, gentlemen. Soon to videos will pop up. You guys click the links below. Let me know what you think. And I know the Nikki Bella victims out there, I know you're happy that Artem got the restraining order. I know you go ahead and pat yourself on the back, whatever. But Nikki is still not a victim. Just want to notate that. You guys let me know what you think of the content. And of course, until then, guys, you already know what it is at this point. It is OUT.
You and me and Chris Benoit basically all started together, pretty much. You started a little bit earlier.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
But they pushed me to the moon and they held you guys back. And we all started at the same time. We were wrestling each other. We were getting each other over, putting each other over. And I thought we were all going to kind of come up together. And it was like, you guys stayed behind. And it was like, what's going on?
Well, I mean, we definitely had to work harder because you already said it, Kurt. You already know the answer is that you were a WWE guy.